Welcome back to News and Books, the podcast where we unpack the headlines through the lens of history's greatest stories and the books that bring them alive. I'm your host, Eric Nguyen, and today we're diving into a moment that's gripping the world. A single flight that's become a symbol of grief, legacy, and unbreakable spirit. Kenya Airways Flight KQ202, the most tracked plane on Flight Radar 24 right now, carrying a high-level delegation to bring home the body of Raila Odinga, affectionately known as Baba. Over 7,000 people worldwide are following its every move from Nairobi to Mumbai. Joining me to break this down is my good friend and go-to expert on African politics, Sean Thompson. Sean's the author of Echoes of the Savannah, Unsung Heroes of Post-Colonial Africa, and he's been following Raila's rollercoaster career for decades. Sean, thanks for being here on such a heavy day.
Eric, it's an honor. Raila's passing hits like a gut punch. Not just for Kenya, but for anyone who's rooted for the underdog in the fight for justice. Let's talk about why this flight feels like more than just logistics.
Absolutely. If you're just tuning in, stick around. We'll cover Raila's life, the tragedy in India, the unprecedented buzz around KQ202, and what his legacy means for Africa's future. And of course, we'll recommend some essential reads. Hit that subscribe button and let's get into it. Sean, before we get to the skies, let's ground ourselves. Raila Odinga wasn't just a politician, he was a force. Born in 1945, son of Kenya's independence hero, Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, he spent years in prison for pushing democracy under dictators like Moi, lost 5 presidential bids, but look at what he built. The 2010 Constitution, power sharing after the 2007 violence. Walk us through the man behind Baba.
Oh, Eric, where do I start? Raila was the ultimate survivor, the Agwambo, the enigma. Picture this. In the 70s and 80s, he's smuggling banned books and radios into Kenya to spark multi-party talk, jailed without trial. Then 2007, that election chaos killed over 1,300, displaced 600,000. Raila could have walked away bitter, but he brokered the coalition that made him prime minister. And don't get me started on his 2025 AU Commission run. He almost had it, uniting the continent's progressives. As one report nailed it, he was the opposition leader who lost all 5 presidential campaigns, yet sealed Kenya's most important reforms. Flaws? Sure. Tribal politics whispers, perennial loser jabs. But to millions, he was the voice that roared for the voiceless.
It's like reading a novel where the hero never wins the crown but changes the kingdom. Speaking of books, Sean, your chapter on Raila in Echoes of the Savannah calls him Africa's reluctant revolutionary. What's one story from there that captures him?
The 1991 Saba Saba protests. Raila organizes a massive rally against one-party rule. Tear gas, arrests, beatings. But that day cracks the regime wide open. It's pure grit. If folks want deeper, grab Michela Wrong's It's Our Turn to Eat. It weaves Raila's anti-corruption fights into Kenya's underbelly. Eye-opening.
Noted, link in the description. Raila at 80, still fighting, which makes what happened next all the more shattering. October 15, 2025. Raila's in Kerala for Ayurvedic treatment, that ancient Indian wellness tradition he's sworn by for years. Sean, paint the picture. A routine checkup turns into heartbreak.
Heartbreaking doesn't cover it, Eric. Kochi's this serene coastal spot, famous for holistic retreats. Raila flies in quietly earlier that month. Health rumors had swirled during his AU push, but nothing alarming. Then, boom, cardiac arrest at the clinic. Rush to hospital, pronounced dead on arrival. Reuters confirmed it fast. Odinga had been receiving medical treatment abroad. No drama, just gone. At 80, after dodging bullets and ballots. Kenya wakes to the news, and it's like the air gets sucked out. Ruto calls him a colossus of our democracy. Uhuru Kenyatta, architect of modern Kenya. Tributes from Tinubu in Nigeria to Ramaphosa in South Africa. Africa's leaders are reeling.
And Raila's wishes. Simple burial in 72 hours at his Apota home in Bondo, Siaya County, Sunday, October 19th. No pomp, just peace. But getting him home, that's where KQ202 enters the story. Sean, this flight, KQ202, Boeing 787 Dreamliner, registration 5Y-CYD, departs Jomo Kenyatta at 6:55 p.m. Eat after a delay, heads to Mumbai. By evening it's number 1 on Flight Radar 24, tracked by over 7,000 souls worldwide. Why the frenzy? Is it just grief or something bigger?
It's communal catharsis, Eric. This isn't some celeb joyride. It's Kenya's collective exhale. Flight Radar 24 data spiked it past 5,000 users mid-flight, eclipsing disasters or VIP jaunts. X is exploding. Even the skies know history is in motion. Thousands tracking KQ202, not just a flight but a nation's final salute. Kenyans abroad, families at home, even Gen Z turning apps into vigils. One Luo post, over 6,000 users following, Baba Pod Peck. That's Baba has arrived. It's real-time unity. 5.5 hours from NBO's humidity to bomb's haze. Every transponder ping a pulse.
I love that, like a digital funeral procession, and the plane itself, Kenya Airways, co-founded in spirit by folks like Raila, full circle. Over 30 leaders aboard, government, family, allies. President Ruto dispatches them to honor Baba with dignity. Sean, who's key here, and what does this say about Kenya's fragile unity?
It's a masterstroke of reconciliation, Eric. Leading, Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi, Ruto's logistics wizard. Then Transport CS Kipchumba Murkomen for the handover. Hassan Joho, Raila's Mombasa comrade now in mining. Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah, Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja. Families there, Raila's brother, Senator Oburu Oginga, linking with Deputy President Kithure Kindiki on funerals. Even ODM's Edwin Opio, bridging the old opposition rift. X summed it. Over 30 Kenyan leaders on KQ202 have landed at Mumbai. They touch down, ya 3 Naus AM IST, hop to Kochi, collect the remains under Indian Guard. Back on KQ201. Friday dawn, Nairobi by 1 Gallas PM Eat. Then processions, parliament condolences, Bondo burial.
A who's who of power, rivals flying together, that's Raila's ghost brokering peace. The outpouring, X's Wat Rip Baba trending, vigils in Kisumu and Nairobi. Sean, what's the vibe on the ground, and the road home?
Tsunami of emotion, Eric. Kasmuel Makur tweets, "Thank you for saving my life." France 24 calls it an outpouring of grief for Kenya's most prominent political figure. Streets packed, Azimio flags waving. Diaspora lighting candles from London to Atlanta. Timeline, Mumbai land, Kochi by 2 AM local, repatriate by noon. KQ201 out at 8:30 AM IST, NBO Friday afternoon. Sunday funeral. Simple, as Baba wanted. One post, the coffin in Kerala, ahead of repatriation. Its closure wrapped in chaos.
Powerful. Makes you reflect on how one life ripples.
Ripple, tsunami, Eric, multi-party democracy, his spark, 2010 Constitution, devolution, rights, his blueprint, AU near miss in 2025, proof Africa's hungry for his fire. As AP said, he lost a bid for AU head earlier in 2025, but won hearts eternal. Flaws and all, he taught, fight dirty if needed, but fight fair. Unity over tribe.
Amen. For our books angle, beyond your work, I'd add The Flame Trees of Thika by Elspeth Huxley for colonial context, or Raila's own Raila Odinga, The Art of Opposition co-authored vibes. Sean, final thought on his legacy.
Baba didn't just lose elections, he won evolutions. Rest in power, he's the blueprint for tomorrow's leaders.
Sean Thompson, always a pleasure, and a gut check. Thanks for guiding us through this. Listeners, what does Raila mean to you? Drop comments, share tributes, grab Sean's Echoes of the Savannah, link below. Subscribe to News and Books for more news meets literature deep dives. We'll cover the funeral updates next ep. I'm Eric, peace, and for Baba.